Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. Reiki with Anna. For this video, we're going to be doing a soft-spoken ASMR style Reiki session for connecting with the divine. I'm not sure if you can hear, but it's actually raining, and that's just what we got going on. So hopefully, in terms of the ASMR stuff, that'll be somewhat nice for you. This video was yet again inspired by one of your comments. As I've mentioned in many videos, your comments are just incredibly inspiring and beautiful, and they just make me want to keep making videos, so thank you. Thank you so much. And this has been mentioned a few times, and one of those times it was mentioned by an individual who was really going through something. And I know so many of you are. So many of you are. And right now, as I shoot this video, we're all going through something together. And this individual shared with me that this was before the pandemic kind of, turned everything upside down. This individual shared that their business had gone under. Things were feeling like they were connecting, and then all of a sudden, nothing felt like it was connecting. Things started sort of falling, and they or maybe slipping or sinking, and they sort of felt like they had lost that connection to a divine source. And they asked for this video specifically, and I was really touched by the comment. I was also incredibly touched by the amount of people that responded to that individual, just with so much support and so much love and so much kindness and compassion. It's just this real ebb and flow and give and take, and it also you feed me with that, and then I respond. It's like a constant sort of inhalation and exhalation. So it feels very connected, you and I, in the comments and just here in general. So for this video, we're going to be focusing on your connection with the divine. Now, this is a very big subject, and I know for a lot of people it's a very sensitive subject, and I just want to let you know, affirm for you, that Reiki is a spiritual practice. For me, I like to see it as that individual connection with your sense of spirit, purpose, divinity. It's not a religion, though. So the brilliance of that, from my perspective, is that anybody can benefit from Reiki. Anybody can use Reiki, and there's no contradictions. it can be paired really well with any religion that you practice, any higher power or powers that you believe in. There's space here for everybody. I just wanted to mention that before we get going. I'm just going to show you the stones that we'll be working with. I'm going to just be talking you through them. I'm not going to be doing the close-ups. Trying to alternate that. And they're right here. Then we're going to light some sage, very old sage, and set our intention. So the crystals we're going to be working with, we'll start with Selenite. It's a beautiful stone. This is a tower. I'm going to be using some little sticks as well. And Selenite is a wonderful stone for connecting with the divine. It's a very celestial stone, moon stone, lunar stone. It's got a very magical quality to it, a lightness. It's wonderful for clearing and purifying. I find that it really charges me. I charge it during the full moon, and whenever I use it, I feel very charged by it. I think it has a really beautiful, strong energy. But it's also, it's really powerful, but it's not overpowering or dominating for me. And there are stones that are. I've had you ask me that before. For me personally, I have several stones that I kind of had to put away or give away because they were just a bit too intense for me. The next stone that we're going to be talking about is clear quartz. This is a little cluster. I use this quite often. It's a beautiful stone of amplification. It's also programmable, so you can use this to intend it to be any stone that you'd like. It will amplify any intentions that you set. So it's a nice one to sort of place wherever. You can place it at the heart center, you can place it on the crown, place it wherever, maybe just hold it in your hands as you set an intention with clarity of thought, clear idea of what you're stepping into, and just hold it, and you can just intend it. It's a lovely thing, but it's a very powerful healing stone, and I use it in almost every single one of my sessions. Then I have this. I just think this is such a cute little stone. It's fairly new to my collection. This is a pineapple quartz, and I'll use it again, and I'm sure I'll do close-ups of it. So I just love it so much. I think it's just a really beautiful, very spiritual stone. I feel like it is a lovely stone for connection. Really, just a lovely stone for connection. And it kind of breaks through any barriers for me, as one thing I've been using it for, that involve a lack of trust with the divine, a lack of trust moving through this moment with that kind of whatever it might be, something dulling or disrupting your connection. And this is, for me, great for breaking through those blockages, kind of blasting them apart, and then moving through them, almost like blowing the dust aside. It's a great stone that I've been playing around with and really enjoying. Next I have an amethyst, just because, of course. Amethyst, another very powerful spiritual stone associated with balance and, personal harmony and all that. And it's I like to use it for intuition. I find it to be very, very, very strong. And I like using it in meditations where I'm not so much trying to soothe and relax, but more activate. And it's known as the sobriety stone because it's said that it was given to drunks to help them sober up. This is a kunzite and lepidolite. This was actually given to me by Luninate. Thank you, Jillian. She's so generous. And this one is, I think this is fantastic. Lepidolite is really known for connecting with the divine, and kunzite is lovely. I wanted to bring in a little bit of heart stuff without going too far with it. How can you go too far with heart stuff, though? But this is, for me, a really lovely stone to connect those pieces. The next one is a Labradorite. And for me, the Labradorite was the first stone that I kind of fell in love with. I got a little raw piece of Labradorite and it didn't look like much. It just sort of looked like a very jagged, rough, black stone, dark stone. And I kind of thought, this is not much to look at. And then I put a little bit of water on it, I think, and I started seeing the flashes. And I'm going to look in here just to make sure I'm showing you. It was a different stone, not this one. But I started noticing the flashes and I thought, oh my gosh, it's a magical stone. And I just loved the idea that these little flashes were my dreams, my manifestations. Things that I wanted, or both for myself or for others or for the world or whatever. And the flash is there to sort of assure me that the universe is working on it. But I know a lot of people who have a similar experience with Labradorite, where it's sort of, that's the beginning of their interest being piqued when it comes to crystals. There's so much dust. Not dust, like a little. Anyway. And this is the last stone. Little black kyanite wing. I wanted to have something that felt grounding in this session, but I didn't want anything that would kind of create like a thud. Anything that would sort of, I don't know, I felt called to do this one because this still has a very kind of angelic, light feeling to it. Because I want for this video, maybe you could watch my video about balancing the chakras after this, but I wanted for this video really to focus on the crown, really focusing on the crown. So we're not going to be doing a full body lay with all of the stones. We're just really going to be moving through and kind of focusing on the head space. I wanted this just for a little bit of an anchor to the here and now, a little bit of grounding. So I have this very old, it's not really a bundle anymore, it's basically just some loose leaves of sage. And I'm just going to be lighting this. It's gonna serve as my incense for now. And I'm gonna be setting my intention. on behalf of our wisest, most empowered selves, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to conduct this Reiki session by proxy for connecting or reconnecting with the divine, for tapping into our intuition so that we can open ourselves up to new opportunities and possibilities. So we are igniting this flame and using this to seal this intention here, and then see it through time and space to where and whenever you happen to be watching this or listening to this session. I'm now just going to use this stage, setting a new intention for this stage, to cleanse and clear, so we can have a fresh start here with this. Really want to clear any preconceived notions maybe about this video. Again, I have to say, as with everything that we do here on this channel and on my website as well, if it doesn't serve you, please just leave it. If you find anything disempowering, please just leave it. I want this to be a safe and positive place for you, for all of us. So we're just clearing, and I'm really focusing on these upper chakras. I'll work my way down, but for now we're just sort of focusing on these chakras here. Cleansing and clearing. Cleansing and clearing. I mean, maybe you can't relate to exactly what this individual who shared is going through, but I think we can all relate to disappointment. And in that disappointment, through that disappointment, very often we can start to allow doubt to creep in. It's very natural. But let's see if there's any of that doubt before we really get into this. See if there's any of that doubt that we can clear, cleanse. Just an invitation to kind of scan the body and see if that resonates. See if doubt is something that's come up for you. The difficulty trusting that things will be okay. A difficulty trusting in the divine. And let's just begin the process of clearing so we can start fresh here. try to delve into all of the myriad ways that we might be able to strengthen or even reach out for the first time that connection to the divine. Okay. Lovely. For this, I'm going to be using a little spray as usual. This is just a bottle that I use, but I always make the little sprays, and in this one there's white angelica and lavender. I like white angelica for protection and patience, and patience I think is an important aspect here, especially specifically about this comment that I'm responding to, but in general, when connecting with the divine, trust and patience are really, really, really invaluable. And I think lavender is just so soothing and connected, and I love using it to balance and soothe. And when you are soothed, I think, and relaxed, and sort of, you can find a sense of stillness, maybe. That's where sort of these upper chakras can start having a little dance. Just to clarify, I know I say this a lot, that Reiki is all about movement and how important movement is, and I just realized it might have been confusing when I said stillness, and by that I just mean kind of quieting the mind so that we're not kind of allowing these external things to affect us here and now. We're just settling into this present moment and giving over to presence. Okay, I'm spraying my hands, and I'm going to spray on either side of you here. Okay, down by your feet, and then just above your heads here. Okay, lovely. Okay, I'm going to be drawing the sacred symbols, and then we'll begin. Okay. So I'd like to start with this clear quartz. And I'm going to take this in my hand, and I'm just going to be focusing this on the crown, on the third eye, a little bit on the throat, but just sort of around this area And as I do this, as with all my videos, I've never really mentioned this, but if you feel called to, you can kind of do the same thing if you're listening to this, letting the words kind of wash over you. You can place a stone here on your third eye. You can place a stone if you're lying down on your crown. You can kind of place your hands where I'm working, the space in which I'm working around you, just to kind of aid in this passage of energy between us. Obviously, again, do only what you're called to, but if you are called, have at it. So I'm just going to move this through your energy field up by your crown, and I'm going to draw a few symbols as well. So starting here. So obviously, like all of these videos, this is very, very specific to the individual. For some of you, this might mean this, kind of trouble with connecting to the divine. Might be like our friend who's struggling with this business thing, feeling like things were popping, everything was going so well. Things were going so smoothly, and then there was just one thing fell through, and then things sort of started to feel like they were falling apart. Could be that. Something that has to do with work and kind of feeling like, well, where do I start? What do? I had all of this, really these synchronicities, and was seeing things, and now it seems like whatever channel I had to the divine has been cut, snipped. So for that, if that resonates with you, we can envision here that we're rebuilding that channel of connection. We're reforming that channel of connection to the divine. And if you want to look at it sort of as like building it, or these like slower aspects that we're moving together, you can kind of imagine maybe building a sandcastle of light, maybe on your crown. So you're slowly building this up, and you're having to kind of structure it and use wet sand to help with the foundation. Maybe that sounds yucky, I don't know. But something like that, something that's about reforging that connection, so rebuilding that. And that's what I'm intending here. And for others, it might feel like maybe you had this very open channel of connection and something was stoppered, like there was a stopper put in it, or something was sort of shut on top of it, like cork in a bottle, or I have a very, like a whistle, like on a steam engine or something like that pops up, like, and then maybe you don't know what I mean. That's just the image I'm getting. It's sort of like maybe a hat is kind of like, sorry, I'm looking here, but yeah, it's just kind of what it is that you're specifically coping with or dealing with or moving through right now in terms of your connection to the divine. And maybe you aren't having anything specific, but you're just kind of like, I don't know if I have a problem connecting with the divine. I've never really thought about it. Then this is here for you too. Okay, so we're gonna move on to a different stone now. I wanted to play around with the kunzite and lepidolite, and we're basically gonna be doing the same thing. Just kind of moving through, starting at the crown and moving through. So if you're one of those who feels like there's some kind of blockage or something specifically getting in the way of your connection with the divine, not just that sort of a string has been cut, but more that there feels like a real blockage there, almost like it could feel like there's a rain cloud or a storm cloud above you. And if you're feeling like that, okay, so if it feels like a storm cloud, this lepidolite is just coming in and moving that energy around. You know, blowing that cloud. It's gonna be this gentle but powerful healing gust that just moves that blockage. So maybe you're not noticing any synchronicities. This is just clearing that. So if you're feeling something like it feels dull, or this is like blowing the dust away, shining up that channel of light and energy that connects us to the divine source, God, gods, the universe, anything that's greater than you. I love using stones in these distance Reiki sessions because I think they really help with the through time and space aspects of this kind of work. Making room and even saying like, okay, I open myself up to divine connection. I open myself up to the synchronicities of the universe. I easily tap into my intuition. I am open to opportunities and to the limitless possibilities that I am surrounded by. Okay. There we go. So, how many of you have worked with Labradorite? I love hearing what you like to use stones for. I do think that, like everything, I mean, to me, spirituality it's our connection with whatever we see as greater than us. And I think that it's just every aspect of it is so personal. So something that one person says about their spiritual practice or their spiritual path, it could feel quite the opposite from what you experience, even when it comes to some of the tools that we're using. But I guess that's what makes the world interesting, isn't it? We all have our own unique, beautifully us. Our perspective is entirely our own. And we can all have a sense of belonging and a sense of in this real connection to one another and still be completely having a completely different experience. It's very cool. I feel like I'm just gonna do a little spray. Move this. Ooh. That's maybe I needed to shake it up a bit more because that spray that I did just now was really nice. Just let you smell it virtually. Sometimes white angelica I feel can be, I've said this before, a bit too intense, but I think when you get the balance right, it can add a real depth and beauty to the smells. Okay. Before we get into any more of the stones, I'm actually going to break this up into a little bit of hands-on healing here and now. And draw the symbols in my hands. Starting at the ground. Just sending shimmering white light down through the top of your head. A funnel of beautiful shimmering white, comfortable, warm, soothing light. And I just want you to know that if you're having this reaction of lack of trust or having a hard time trusting, if you're going through something challenging, I just want you to know you're not alone. It's so natural, and I want you to know that you're loved. Hand to your hand on heart. Making this connection here. So we can maybe tap into some divine love here and now. It's opening up that pathway. If you're feeling, just hovering away from your throat, if you're feeling as if this self-doubt feels very caught, very tense. We're just breaking up that blockage and allowing this energy to flow. Softening into a deep trust in the divine, in the universe, source. Opening up the channels for a deep trust in the divine. And obviously that doesn't mean that we stop everything we're doing and just trust that the divine will work everything out for us. I mean, this is, we're here for this practice to show up and participate in, maybe you're just here for the ASMR and relaxation. I don't mean to impose anything on you. But I guess what I'm trying to clarify here is that I'm not suggesting that as part of the practice of connecting with the divine or reconnecting with the divine, that's the only aspect that matters. This video is going to be very top heavy. This session is very top heavy. We are focusing on our connection with the divine, but we have many aspects of self. We have many chakras, not just the crown. So it really is all about balance and alignment. I hope that makes sense. And as I said, it might be nice to do kind of a chakra balancing meditation or something. I was actually going to do that video instead of this one today, but I felt called to do this one. Gotta listen to that divine inspiration. Okay. Hands and just hovering on either side of the hips. Sacrum and solar plexus. Okay, I'm now going to be moving this Labradorite through your aura. One of the ways I like to use Labradorite is in manifestation. So, stepping into this aspect that might say, okay, I want to invite more synchronicities or be more open and receptive to synchronicities in my life. I want to be able to see clearly the signs from the universe. I want to be able to hear clearly the message of the universe. And so let's take this Labradorite and set an intention to use it as a manifestation stone to manifest this strengthening, reinforcing, perhaps even building this connection with the divine. So we're going to allow the little flashes in this beautiful stone to indicate all of the dreams and wishes that we might have regarding that connection with the divine, that connection with our intuition. I love doing manifestation rituals. I think they're fun. I like doing them on the full moon. I think they can be very helpful just to better understand yourself and see where you are. What is your heart's desire? What do you want? For me, I think a very beneficial question to ask as part of your personal practice. Why not? Just to kind of know what are the things that you want. No shame, no guilt, nothing like that. But an honest and deep expression of what you desire. Sure, why not? Moving through. Okay, now to ground that manifestation, we're going to invite in this black Kyanite. I just love this stone. What I like to do is I have a little shelf that's turned not upside down, but on its sides. And I keep all my stones in there, the ones that fit. And these little tiny, little wooden dividers in the shelf. My words are escaping me today. I'm sure there's an easier way of explaining that, but I like to pick the stones that I'm going to be working with. Kind of go over there. Light a candle, or I'd like to do little ritual things no matter what, so I like to set the space, do a little singing bowl maybe. Sit with myself for a minute, calm, stabilize, and balance before I start any Reiki session. But these distance ones are no different. And then I just sort of ruminate on the subject, ruminate on the theme that we're going to be focusing on for these distance Reiki sessions in this way. And when I thought about it and decided that I wanted a grounding stone, black Kyanite was the first one that came to mind, and I picked it up and I immediately felt this almost like whoosh. I knew it was right. Coming now a little bit from the ground up, and almost using it like the shape that it's in, this wing, blowing that energy up, wafting that energy upward. So in a sense, grounding this divine connection. So we're pulling it in here, bringing it up here, meeting it with grounded energy. So we're ready for this connection. We're stable, we're ready. it will be in perfect comfort and balance, and it won't topple us over or frighten us. It'll be benevolent and beautiful and kind, loving. Taking that energy and bringing it down. Taking that energy, calling it in and bringing it down. Beautiful. Okay. Now, like I mentioned before, I'm going to be taking this little piece of pineapple quartz. So cute. It's perfect as well. I love stones that sort of fit here, and it almost has like this little indent where my finger can go, and so I can draw the symbols very easily, which is what we're going to do. We're going to draw the symbols above your crown. You can almost use this almost visualization, like if there's some sort of blockage happening, let's pinpoint what that is, recognize what that is, give it a name. Tara Brock. I've been speaking about her a lot, but I want to keep sharing it because her offerings are always beautiful, and like I said previously, her offerings right now at this time are, I think, very inspiring and really important. So if you're interested, you should check her out. I left her in the comment in the description box previously, and a few of you checked her out, and I'm really happy about that. She talks about recognizing, and it's a very, very important part of the process of self-knowledge and self-wisdom and connecting. So what is the name of that thing? If you can pinpoint it, what is the name of the blockage, the thing getting in your way? And let's say once we name it, it becomes like a target just for this. And this, we can say, is like a very gentle but powerful laser beam that comes out of here. And it can penetrate through the blockage and burst it apart. So that's what we're going to be doing here. As I move through up top, it's just, and you identify what it is that's blocking you, or what you're experiencing, what this experience is that you're having now, presently, when you think about the divine and connection. Is there anything that feels icky or dark or stuck? And if you can name it, and once you name it, if you can even visualize it, make it solid. And then I will come in, break it apart, using my trusty little pineapple quartz companion here. I just got some tingles. That's been happening to me recently. It's so funny. I'll have to see what that means. I'm just kind of doing the same, kind of brushing through the other chakra points and opening up anything that feels blocked, creating a beautiful flow, pathway for this energy to flow, opening it up. I don't know, don't you just love this little piece of pineapple quartz? It's so cute. It's like the little engine that could. It's so little. So just running through. Okay. Opening all those up. Lovely. I'm gonna spray my hands. And now come through with this piece of selenite. And for this, what I'd like to do is connect all of your chakra points to your crown, connecting one at a time so we can open all those up and connect each of these aspects to the divine. First, I'd like to place this amethyst right ever so gently on your crown. And I think this will be a really beautiful way of tapping into that spiritual harmony, tapping into a real sense of balanced healing and openness. And now I'm going to take this little selenite tower, place it in my right hand, here like so, and then I'm just going to open up and connect these channels using this tower. Like, I'm going to start by connecting to the third eye. So connecting here, clearing a pathway, tapping into divine intuition. Divine sight. Now I'm going to connect the crown to the throat. So we can have divine expression, tap into divine expression. Now I'm going to tap into and connect the crown to the heart center. Creating a really open, beautiful pathway for divine love. A true, beautiful sense of balance. If you are experiencing any pain, allow the universe to comfort you. Allow God or Source or the universe, your wisest self, to comfort you. To hold your heart gently. In loving care, kindness. And now the solar plexus, connecting the divine to action. So act from divine inspiration. In a sense that, if any self-doubt creeps in, just invite that trust in the divine. Patience with and for the divine. Opening up that channel and that pathway. And now the sacral, connecting the sacral with the divine. Creating from a place of divinity, again from divine inspiration, creating. Not to be too much or inappropriate, but love, that intimate love, allow that to be divine. Invite divinity to that aspect of your life as well. Any dark or kind of icky places in the sacral that you want to address, shed that divine light on it. And allow, we're doing a little heart to sacral, to crown. Allow that flow and that pathway to be filled with beautiful glimmering light that sheds light on any of that darkness. We don't need it. And by darkness, we can't have light without the dark, but I mean particularly just shame is what I'm thinking. If there's any shame associated with any of the darkness, because darkness teaches us so much. I hope you know what I mean. But if there's any shame associated with any of that, allow this glimmering, beautiful, divine light to shine on those dark places that might feel like you're bad. And now root. Trust in the divine. Ultimate trust in the path, in the journey, in your personal experience. You belong. Okay. Yum. Cool. Lovely. I'm just going to take these 2 little selenite sticks, and if anything came up here that felt triggering and they decided to stick around, then I'd like to just use these to very, very gently clear that, cleanse that, and renew that energy for something really useful. So, just starting at your crown and just kind of combing through very gently with these 2 pieces to clear, to cleanse, and to open you up for this kind of beautiful divine connection. Maybe a little root stuff. Safety. Trust. Okay. I'll spray a bit there. There we go. Okay. Just spraying down by your root. And then I'm going to spray my hands. I'm going to move through, starting down at your roots and just fluffing your aura. Inviting a healthy, beautiful, protected, etheric field to move through this time. Okay. And now to close with our affirmations. I just love this necklace. One of you said, it's like my uniform, my Reiki uniform. I love that. This is like, gotta get ready to do a Reiki session. Put on my uniform. My friend calls it my love armor. Okay. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are strong. You are creative. You are safe. I want to thank you so much for being here. Just to close, this might take some time. I would maybe suggest doing a little meditation or trying to invite that into your practice. Trying to invite as much patience as you can into your practice. And really, if something strikes you, if you have a thought or a feeling or something like that, and you think, oh, I wonder if that was the connection to the divine, if this was some sort of message or connection, and then you think, but I don't know, I don't think it was. Just maybe for now. Maybe just like the clouds. Maybe just allow that thought that comes in and says, maybe it wasn't. Let's allow that thought to just blow on by. That's for now. And let's just trust. If you're called to, if it feels right, obviously, with love and benevolence and all of that. This isn't about impulses and, but just listening and sensing what's there, what's present, what's between the thoughts, behind the thoughts, between the thoughts, and beneath the thoughts. But I think meditation, maybe a dream journal, little things, rituals and things like that help me a lot to reconnect. But I think it really is up to you. But I want to thank you so, so much for being here, for sharing this moment with me, and please share any personal experiences that you're having with this divine connection down below. And if you are the one who ever so generously and bravely shared this before, then I'd love to hear how you're doing now. I think it was so intuitive that you even asked for or saw this as a session that you could benefit from, explaining what you were going through, and then saying that you would love a session on connecting with the divine is, to me, seems very intuitive. So trust that it's there. Maybe you just need to, dust off the cobwebs, but you got this. It's gonna be okay. For everyone, it's gonna be okay. I'm sending you all so much love. Until next time, be well.